Namaskar and welcome back to Linux Fundamentals. In this video, I will introduce you to Linux file system. File system is the very important aspect of any operating system. File system decides how the files will get stored on your disk. So Linux has its own file system. Let's have a look at the Linux file system. So as every operating system has a file system, Linux has got its own file system. So file system is basically the way how the files will get stored on the storage devices. So it's a layer that handles the storage of data on the storage devices. So Linux has the hierarchical file structure that contains the topmost root directory under which all other directories are available. So the topmost directory in Linux is the root directory, that is the main directory in Linux. Just like in Windows we have the C directory or C colon or C drive that holds the operating system files as the root drive. Similarly here in Linux, the root drive is called as the root drive in Linux is root and is also represented as a slash. So Linux file system creates a tree-like structure. So it has got a tree-like structure and all the files and directories come under the root directory. That is the main directory of the Linux operating system. Linux offers various file structures, various file systems like ext, that is the older and the first version of file system that was implemented in Linux. Later on the ext was enhanced and the latest versions like ext2, ext3 and ext4. So ext4 is the latest version of all, and today in the most of the Linux operating systems it supports the ext4 version. Then Linux also supports the swap partition, or the swap file system that holds the data for temporary purpose if there is no space in the memory. So Linux has the swap file system. Then it also supports XFS, BTRFS and many more. So Linux supports a variety of file systems that are used to manage the storage or manage the files in the storage device. So these are some of the features of the Linux file system. So the main directory, that is the root directory, is represented by a slash. So as in Windows we have C:/. Similarly here a slash is represented as the root directory and the main directory. All the files and directories are case sensitive. So while assigning the file names and directory names, one has to be careful what names they are assigning, as Linux is case sensitive. Linux doesn't recommend to have file extensions. So file extension, even if you don't assign any file extension, still Linux is capable of managing those files. But just for the user references, the extensions can be specified for any file. Linux also has a lot of configuration files and hidden files that play a very important role in setting and managing various parameters of the Linux operating system. So these are some of the features of Linux that make Linux unique, and also the file system plays a very important role in making Linux secure. So let's have a look at the directory structure that is available in Linux. So Linux follows the virtual directory structure. So root is the main directory that is considered as the system directory, and all the files and folders come under this directory. So root is the topmost level of the file structure, and within root there are various directories that play a very important role in managing the crucial information or crucial data of the operating system. So the first directory we see is the bin directory that holds all the executable files. It's also called as binary files under it, so hence it is named as bin directory. So there is a bin directory. Then we have device directory that holds all the device drivers. So whatever device drivers we use in our system, all the device drivers are stored in the device directory. So DEV is the device directory. Then we have ECT. ECT holds all the configuration files and all the hidden files. So it holds the information about the groups, users, and Ethernet, and many more. So it holds all the information, especially related to configurations, various configurations about the system, the user, the groups, and many more. So etc directory. Then we have the lib directory. It holds all the library files. So this directory contains all the library files that are being used by various applications, various processes. So the library files play a very important role in playing in making the system calls that are related to the kernel. So all the kernel related library files are stored here. Boot directory, it contains the booting information about the system. So how the system will boot, how the system will start, all the files related to booting of the system are stored in the boot directory. Then we have the home directory. Now home directory is the directory that holds all the home directories of the users. So any user who has been created, or any user that is being created in Linux machine, will have a home directory, and that home directory will be placed in this home directory. So /home is the home directory for maintaining the home directories of all the users. Then we have MNT. So MNT stands for mount. So if you want to mount any other file system, or if you want to copy something from your pen drive or your CD-ROM drive, then you have to create a mount point where you can copy all your files from your CD drive or pen drive. So mount is basically a temporary file system to copy data from the external storage devices. Then you have proc, that is what contains all the processes marked as a file by the process number or other information that is dynamic. So that is all the dynamic information, or all the dynamic processes are stored in this process folder. Your root, this is the root home directory. So all the data related to the administrator, or all the files related to the admin will be stored in the root home directory. Then we have sbin. It contains the binary executable files basically used for system administration. So all the system administrative files are stored in, or all the system administrative executable files are stored in sbin. Then we have temporary. Again, these are used for storing the temporary files while the system is booting. So all the temporary files that get created while system boot are stored in tmp directory. Then the next directory is USR. It is used for miscellaneous purpose and can be used by many users. So users can store their temporary data here for temporary purpose, and they can use it later, or you can delete it. Var contains the variable length files, like it stores the log files, the files that doesn't have any limit for storing the data. So the log files are used in many cases where it maintains the logs. So the log files are too huge, and hence it gets stored in the var. So it is variable length. So the length of the file is unknown. These are all the directories that we usually see in the operating system. So these are the directories that will be there in any operating system. Apart from this, there can be many other directories that get created while we install the operating system. So this was all about the file system in Linux. So let's see how these directories appear on your operating system. So let's see the demonstration of this. So let's see how the file systems appear in the Linux machine. So to see the files and directories in Linux, we use the command ls. So we use the command ls. ls command displays the files and directories in the current directory. So now this is the home directory of the user student. So this is the student user on which we can this is the home directory of student user. So to come out of this directory, we use the command cd space dot dot. Cd stands for change directory and dot dot stands for the parent directory. By executing this command, we are moving back to the home directory. So we come out of the home directory. So if you want to see the present working directory, so the present working directory is this. So this is a student directory, that is a home directory for the user student, and this home directory is the system home directory. So the moment we type cd dot dot, that is change directory, so we move one level up, that is we move to the home directory. So when you see the contents of this home directory, we see that there is only one user on this machine. So there is the home directory for only one user, that is student. So we move ahead, or we move one level up from home directory, and now here you can see this is the root, that is the slash, and when you type the ls command, you will see all the directories that we discussed in the slide. So we have bin directory, device directory, lib directory. So there are some more extra directories that you can find here. So these are some additional directories that are found here. So these are the directories that we just saw in the slide. So this is how this is what is the directory structure of Linux. So this is how the directories are maintained in Linux, and these are all directories that get created when we install Linux for the first time. So whenever we install Linux on the machine, on our system, you will see these directories are already there, and these are also called as system directory. These are also called as system directory because these directories get created, or these directories are the part of the operating system. So when we install the operating system, these directories are going to be there. So you can traverse the directories using the cd command, that is the change directory. And if you want to go back to the home directory, so we simply type cd and enter. So you will be back to your home directory. So this was all the demonstration of the file systems. In the next video, we will see how to create a file. Thanks for watching the video. If you have liked the video, please click on the like button and share your views and suggestions with us by writing in the comment section below, and encourage us by subscribing to our channel, and please do not forget to click on the alert bell so that you don't miss our upcoming videos on our channel. So see you in the next video. Till then, take care, stay safe. Thank you.